the being that I had to get up to go. And then when I was on, I was so, I mean, I was so anemic, so dehydrated. I had lost,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just nothing.
John, thank you so much for joining me today to discuss your amazing story with ulcerative colitis, severe, basically life-threatening ulcerative colitis. My God, 20 years of this. You're here with us today. Been in the program over 2 years now. And guys, if you are dealing with UC and you've been through a lot, this is the story you're going to want to hear. John, thanks so much for being here, brother.
Anytime, you know that, man. Anything I can do to let the world know about CCL and Dane Johnson, Arman, and the whole team.
Can you first tell everyone what were you diagnosed with? How old were you? And what was that like for you and your family?
Well, I can tell you right now that like my first from when I was preteen, I was having issues and problems and matters that were just constant. So many issues regarding basically maladaptive metabolism. And I was having sleep issues. I was having obviously just chronic fatigue. And so I was just getting just the cramping and the bloating and aches and all over, systemically, just all over, let alone just from my colon and my gastrointestinal tract. So this was just accruing and it was just accumulating more and more and more up until when I was about 27 years old. I hadn't slept for about 6, 7 days straight.
Wow.
And I was admitted to a hospital. And you can only imagine then everything was right away. You have depression, you have anxiety, you have all these issues, and here's your meds, and you're fine. There's nothing wrong. So basically, it was a matter of going in and out of every single type of therapy and type of like, everything on a psychosocial, emotional. Everything was from the neck up back then. So when I went and I did a little bit of a deeper dive with this, I had met a lady who was a naturopath straight out of Eastern Europe, straight out of, the farmlands of Czechoslovakia and so forth. And she immediately said, okay, no more gluten. You only eat whole foods.
Yeah.
So this went on for, I would say, close to 20 years, like you said, from
So,
27. Go ahead.
so you had GI issues your entire life.
Oh, my
That was
whole
a
life.
given. You said at the beginning you were having diarrhea, urgency, cramping and pain, bloating,
Yes.
food
I
intolerance.
thought that was normal. I thought this was like,
And this
this
was
was
all
bad.
before you were diagnosed,
Oh, yeah. This
which is
all the
interesting.
way.
The root
I
issue
had
was
no idea.
there before the diagnosis. I think a lot of us are wondering, oh, I need to wait for a diagnosis. It's like, no,
Oh, exactly.
act on
Oh,
the
yeah.
symptoms now. Don't worry. Don't wait for a
Yes. Oh, that's
diagnosis.
what it was.
But
You
how
grew up
old
in
were
a
you?
household where it's like, that's what everybody does. This is normal.
Yeah. How old were
Like
you
that,
when you were diagnosed finally with IBD?
that was 5 years ago. So I was about
Yeah.
49 years old and I was just blown out of the water.
Did they do
What's this?
colonoscopies back in 2000, 2005, 2010?
I never had a doctor.
So you,
What's this?
even your naturopath, because when they were asking about your diagnosis, they might have missed the gut because you're talking about
Oh,
what's
yeah.
happened with your mind.
Oh, it's all they were concentrating on. That's it. I
No
kept
one,
on
no
trying to
one
tell them,
asked you
like,
about your bowel movements. No one said,
never,
wait, you've been
never.
having 5, 10 explosive diarrhea bowel movements with cramping and pain and bloating and food
Oh,
sensitivity
yeah.
your entire life. No one said that till 5 years ago.
That's almost like it was maybe a month or two after I saw Jeannie Patel and you talking. I'm like, oh my God, wait a second, hold on, stop, play this back. Like this guy's saying things that I've never heard a doctor talk like before. But now I'm starting to understand, like, okay, for me and the way I need to do things with respect to my liver and my metabolism and so forth, and purifying is definitely a binder based kind of approach. Miners are the fundamental base for me to really make
Yeah.
almost everything revolve around how I am utilizing that aspect of the Shield program.
John, one thing I think that's important to what you're just talking about now is the connection between our anxiety, our
Oh,
mindset, our brain fog, and our gut health. Your
yes,
hormones are made in your gut. If
yes,
toxins are not properly released, you can use
yes,
binding agents, as John talking about, are not properly released, you are going to continue to get more brain fog, more irritation, irritability, feelings of depression, feelings of anxiety, where you're aware, why do I feel this way? It's not you. It's a sick body, and your body's going, I'm not good. And that will give you bad mental and emotional thoughts. But John, let's get back to a little bit here
yeah,
of you finally get diagnosed. You have undiagnosed IBD for 20 or 30 years, severe symptoms. You had some of the most severe symptoms I had seen in a long time when you came in. You started with us over 2 years ago. What were the
Yeah.
symptoms you were dealing with?
So when I came to CCL, I was
I have,
absolutely,
I have here like
heavy.
15
I
bowel
was,
movements a day, 15,
oh
16
yeah,
at
easy.
least.
I was telling Arman just last podcast for the first month, before I saw you and Ginny on the interview, I couldn't get out of my bed for close to 3 weeks.
Yeah, you had to be next to a bathroom like 24/7. I remember
Oh, easy,
it was,
easy,
and you
20.
were
And I,
so, well, you were so
yeah,
sensitive. And I remember one of the things when you first came in is, guys, any little thing I do could send me to an ER room.
yes.
We had to be extremely careful.
Oh,
And the thing is our first thought is, okay, go see your doctor if you're in an ER situation. But you had
yes.
exhausted everything you could do with your doctor, and you needed some further protocols to work in unison with your
Oh,
doctor,
yeah.
which is where we stepped in.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
reading here, terrible blood,
Yeah.
terrible urgency. Real,
Yeah.
everything's loose, everything's diarrhea.
Yeah.
15 bowel movements, maybe 20, and then
Oh, easy.
another 2 to 5 at night on top of that. And then you
Yeah.
had severely bad pain and cramping.
Oh God. Yeah.
Severely
I mean,
bad
I
pain and
couldn't even like,
cramping,
and the
bloating.
whole, the being that I had to get up to go. And then when I was on, I was so, I mean, I was so anemic, so dehydrated. I had lost,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just nothing
Your
but
vision, you were even saying
blood, vision.
your
I
vision
couldn't
was gone.
see,
Your
couldn't
energy
see.
you put as a one. You're
Oh
weight
yeah.
in the 160s, and you're a big guy. Like you were up to
Yeah.
250 at a point. You're in the 160s,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you're not sleeping through the night. Severe pain, bloating, cramping. You've already been on medications. You've been dealing with this most of your life, and so you're just going through it. When you came and you looked at us and you said, "This is different." I mean, who
Yeah.
is this guy? And this isn't online. Is this a scam? I know all of us are thinking of it right now, and that's why we're here to build that integrity. Is this just a money grab? Is it a scam? What made you feel like S.H.I.E.L.D would be different for you and really be authentic and full of integrity to help you with IBD, with everything you had seen, every doctor you had seen, every medication you had seen the last 25 years? What gave you that green light? You said, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot.
Like I said, I was scrolling. I was basically at a point where I was like, oh, I quit. I've done it all. I can't take it anymore. And then I just happened to again, by almost force of habit, I'm scrolling through and I'm going doing a deep dive, and up came Ginny Patel, and she was speaking and talking. It wasn't like she was speaking to the camera. She'd recorded herself at a conference or something she was talking about in her story. And I'm like, wow, that's unbelievable. And it was almost the first connection that I was hearing people that were not only having been diagnosed, but now were doing their own research
Yeah.
and their own, basic way of truly trying to find ways to live with this. And I was hearing her talk time and time again. I'm like, man, she's just brilliant. And then all of a sudden, I saw her interview you.
Yep.
And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, he doesn't seem like he's coming off like you want to do this, this, and this, or you need to get this and this. And here's what all you were doing was you were talking about you history, as was Ginny. So I'm hearing these two people just have a conversation, and I'm thinking, wow, like I feel like I want to get to know them, their story, and what they've gone through and what they've done to help themselves. And the one thing that I saw with regard to CCL and the S.H.I.E.L.D program that I just knew right away was it was this immediate reach out by Allie,
Yep.
by Arman to sit down, and it wasn't in any way, shape, or like I said, like Arman was just like,
You had a strategy session, like a free call.
yeah,
Sit down
it
and
was
just
an immediate,
no
it was an
hassle, no
immediate,
gimmick. Let's talk about your
not
case, your need.
not
Yeah.
once did they try to sell me one thing for an hour and a half, not once.
Yeah. So
Arman's just like,
our
okay,
mom
so
went
what
above and
happened
beyond
wrong?
for you there. 90
Oh,
minutes, like digging into your case. Yeah.
so when I'm sitting there, I'm just like, and I got off, and Armand, they were both like, okay, let us know, stay in touch and let us know. I'm like, and a couple days went by, there wasn't one, follow up or push up and push out to say like, John, are you interested? And what do you think? I just contacted, I said, okay, I'm very interested in the program. Let me ask you just one or two follow-ups. I asked them that and I'm like, this is it. This is definitely what I've needed, wanted, and had to have now for pretty much my whole life. Thank God they're taking care of this now because they didn't have to live for 35. I mean, the fact that they found Dane, Arman, Laurie, John, they found these people in their life at such an early age. They have no idea the agony they have saved themselves. Can't even begin to explain because you know and I know we're old school. Like Armand's even a
Yeah,
young pup. Like we had to get up, make an appointment, cancel the appointment,
yeah,
remake the appointment, drive out here, fly there. You had to get this, get that test
yeah,
done. You
yeah.
had to get, it took you almost 3 months just to get
Hey,
to a
four
point where you could
years.
now meet,
Yeah.
yeah, and
4 years
talk
to
with
get
a
any
doctor.
results. And if you're saying, dude, I'm relating with John right now, and you want to set up your call that John's talking about, right below is a link, no hassle, completely free. We're just going to sit down and talk about your case, strategize, start to talk about a game plan and see if it's a fit.
If you feel you're like, oh, well, I'm not sure, John, what about, and I'll tell you
And you
right.
want to put your email out there? I'll put it if you want.
Absolutely. By all means.
Okay.
Because if they need me to almost be this kind of screening before they go ahead and they jump in, I get it.
But
Yeah.
John, and so we'll do that, guys. If you want, you'll see right here, we'll have our editor put John's, please be nice and please don't write him anything crazy. If you do, we're going to have to delete this video. It's been over 2 years. You were dealing with some of the most extreme issues, plus really bad fistula, like really extreme situations. What are your symptoms now?
The only thing that I have to deal with is I go a little too much with my antipathogen and my
Okay, if you don't do anything to hurt yourself, what are your
exact yes,
how many
good.
bowels are you having now right now during it?
Oh, I'm having one, maybe two a day.
One
You
to
know?
two from 15
yeah.
to 20 for
Oh, yeah.
decades. You're
Yes.
no blood. I'm looking here.
No.
No blood, no
No.
urgency, no cramping, no pain, no bloating, no bowel movements
Nothing
at night. And you
at all.
came in and you dropped as low as you said 165.
Yeah.
You're 205, 210 now.
Yeah.
Okay. And
About
you were able to get
50.
rid of all of your symptoms.
Yeah.
Okay. When you were going 20 times, I mean, when in your life did you have bowel movements like this at 7 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, 30 years old?
Oh, never in my life. Never have I ever had.
Guys, everyone, this is the crazy thing.
Ever.
You're telling me you're 53 years old now. You
Yeah.
had bowel
Yeah.
issues since you can remember, 6, 7, 8
Wow.
years old. Your
Entire
can't
life.
remember your bowels being as healthy as they are now after 20, 30 years of just war.
Yes.
Because all of us are
Absolutely.
thinking right now, it's too late for me. I think that's a big point with your
Oh, no way.
It's too late. I'm too
No.
old. My metabolics are gone. I've been through too much. There's too much damage. Listen, if you've been like John, you've been sick for 20 or 30 years. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you have to work a little harder. Yes, you have to continue to detox. It might be lower and slower, but the body still can heal, still wants to heal, still will heal given the opportunity. Like one thing I would say that's crazy, John, like when you started the program, how quickly did you start seeing symptom relief with Coach Arman?
Oh, well, I would definitely say after like the fact that I could just take the Absorb Plus elemental shake, Ginny's product, and I was able to just absorb nutrients. I'm like, oh, okay, I feel a little like, in essence, energy, or I feel a little bit more.
Bowel movements calm down, blood calm down.
Everything was calmed down. Yeah.
I think it was just a matter of weeks here. You're saying the note said your bowel movement, your symptoms, even though you were just living liquid or doing other things, your symptoms started to go down pretty quickly.
Through the program, I learned about congee rice. I'm like, what is congee rice? I mean, like, cooked, got the steamer, I got everything, and I made it. And the fact that I was able to eat that, about like a teaspoon of that, about every like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and I was eating that, and I'm like, oh my God.
I don't have to run
My
to the
body's
bathroom.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right then and there, I'm like, there is the way. There's something that the body will do if you know what to do. But no, when you learn just like one or two or three little tricks that are right there for you on how to eat, how, what you had said when you first
Combinations, all of it.
the S.H.I.E.L.D program.
Yep.
It was just when you went through everything you were talking about and you literally applied it and you stuck to it, it was like, okay, this is working.
Congee, guys, that's like rice porridge. It's a famous Chinese dish or Asian dish when a person is sick, and there's certain benefits of it. But what he's talking about is we teach food philosophy. We don't really believe in diets. We teach you diets, and then you can start to build your own. But the cardinal rule of food philosophy is the manner at which food is prepared. And I know that you also had some speed bumps through that, like with your case being so extreme. if you do anything out of the norm, your body can be very volatile. I think it was that you had that speed bump or something happened to you in
Yeah, basically what
April
happened
of
was I was just
2024, right?
I was doing real good, and I was doing some antipathogen protocols, and I was doing some sweating, and I was doing some working out, and I was
Pushed way too
basically,
hard.
yeah, I was going hard. I was going heavy and hard because I thought I could. Like, all right, after a week, I'm like, man, I'm feeling good. 2 weeks, I'm feeling
Yeah.
real good. And I kept on going, and I was like, and this
You got
was again.
norovirus, right?
Well, it was they to this day. Now that was a while ago in the lower right quadrant. When I pretty much going a little bit heavy on the amount of Mod A. I
Yeah.
took that a little too much, and yeah, I had a reaction down there in my lower right colon. But this was an abscess in the lung that.
John, did you think this was possible when you first looked at the program or talked with us that you could be here today?
No, I mean, I was really at a point where I had heard you, I had heard Ginny, and then I heard some of the people already on with their testimonies. I said, okay, like you and I had talked one time, and Armand and I talk all the time about them. Like the first thing that was so just, and I can't up to this day get a slight bit emotional about it. But when I heard how you're not alone, you're not alone out there, you're not on this island, there are so many other people out there that have your issues and problems and circumstances and are in dire straits. What else do I have out there? That again is going to be more, a different day, but the same stuff from another doctor. I have to do something different if I want things to be different in my life. This is not the norm. This is not, but thank God, 2 years later, thank God, even when I was in the hospital, I think I texted Armand and I said, hey, bud, I'm feeding tubes and I got all this stuff on. I'm like, if I didn't have you, I really don't know if I could pull through
IVs can be
because,
a lifesaver. They helped save me too when I was younger, going through
oh,
certain things. And that's, I mean, we've had people actually get in remission with one of the things helping them the most is those IVs because the gut can get so inflamed you can't absorb any nutrients. So you
yes.
put those building blocks intravenously, iron, lipid fats, amino acids, maybe it's NAC, vitamin C, angostrol, glutathione, B complex. There's so much you can do there to protect. But let me ask you this, John, how important was it to have someone like Coach Arman?
We had a couple meetings and sessions and we were talking about just not only, what to do and protocols to go forth with, but just our own life experiences. And it was just such this like connection that, again, if I did not have him with what he knew what to do with so many variables on how to handle this or that, when he was talking to me and teaching me, and I think about our third meeting, he had said like, all right, what I want to do is this, and I want you to start off, and he's basically, I was doing your journal. I was like, I'm putting this all in the journal, your daily journal. I knew, I'm like, wow, I don't have I have a very special person now with this that not only has it, not only knows it and knows how to deal with it, but he knows how just the exact right questions to ask and then how to basically in essence be pretty much the greatest expert I've ever talked to be able to remedy whatever it is you're experiencing.
The
It wasn't like,
prodigy.
well, try this and try that and how about you do this. He's like, look, I want you to do this and I want you to start on this and follow the commandments of low and slow. Listen to your body, like Ginny says all the time. Listen to your gut, listen to your body, listen to what it's telling you, because you may experience something like, okay, what's this? And then know how to pulse, know how to titrate, know all
There you
these
go.
things.
There you go.
And that's what he was teaching me.
It,
And
yep.
that's the denominator is you learn these methods, approaches, and techniques. You're not going to learn that anywhere else.
Well, you're not
Out,
going to have somebody else be able to refine it with you because each
yeah,
session he's building our Coach Armand for everyone out there. He helped build John's custom plan and then refined it and refined it
yeah,
and refined it and refined it. And then what protocol to add in, why, what are we attacking, how do we do it safely so he doesn't end up in a room like he has 100 times before.
yeah.
And so that's super important. What are some key attributes that you think made John successful with that kind of big mountain he had to climb?
Yeah, no, that's huge. Well, first off, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate all the comments. But yeah, John's characteristics. I mean, I think definitely he's a tough cookie for sure, no question about it. I mean, 20 odd years of gut issues. I
Extreme.
mean, hats off to extreme, not even light, right? Like, hats off to him. And this is something that I think resonated early on in our journey, the energy and the conviction. I saw in him that, he's a yes man. Like he's willing to take it. He's willing to do whatever it takes.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I would say, John, I think one of the reasons you've been successful, I've dealt with a lot of life-threatening cases, 20, 30, 40-year cases, the worst of the worst, is you are constantly seeking a positive thing to hold on to. And you just grab on it. You probably do it with a lot of things in life, but you grab on to hope and you hold that. You are willing, like you said, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to fill my journal for 225. We're not telling you have to do that. You're like, I'm going to beat Dane. I'm going to take him. That's the same in the powerlifting, probably. You're one of the hardest workers in the room and you bear hug positivity. John, so amazing. Guys, if you're loving this, we went long on this one, really wanted to connect. You can schedule a 100% free IBD strategy session to talk about your case, root causes, potential root causes, current symptoms, medications you're on, your experience with natural medicine, and let's deep dive. John, any last words of advice?
I can just tell you right now, flat out, bottom line, we're looking at somebody who's been there, done that, has done everything imaginable, has seen every single type of doctor, gotten everything from hair analysis to obviously urine and blood and stool and saliva, and I've done everything there is. And every single one I've seen, there's been a slight bit to a moderate, if not a significant amount of regret. I have been with CCL and I've been there over 2 years now, and there is zero regret. Regret I actually truly have is like where this 5, 10, 20 years ago.
That's what I
feel
like, John.